Hello everybody and welcome to an update video that's kind of weird. I've never actually drawn that's not in like a time-lapse format. So I'm just gonna do some drawing and talk about some updates. So for starters, I want to make everyone aware that May is the next month for game clearing. The last game clearing I did, it was for Airman's Prophecy series. And this one, it's going to be Final Fantasy 2/4. Which will be coming out in May. I hope I didn't say it was coming out in March, because that has already happened and gone past. So that being said, yeah. I've had a lot of life stuff to deal with, so if you see some episodes uploading at times that normally I do not upload at, that is because of that. Other than that, my computer's been doing fine, so I haven't been worrying about that too much. I just got some regular life stuff to take care of, and that's about it. Also, I just want to note something, that if at any point in time you see my tablet go like this, that is because my tablet is currently being held at a position to where the, wire is connected to an extent. If my wire is not plugged in a certain way, then my tablet will turn off and freak out. So, yeah. Just going through some motions of drawing here, just to... I like sketching eyes before I sketch anything, because eyes help a lot in drawing something, if anything. And I generally like getting shapes down before I make any final decisions on what an eye should look like. Even though on this channel you probably have not seen me do eyes much. It's kind of like my specialty that I'd like to say I'm very good at. But that being said, yeah. So there are some things coming. Bahamut Lagoon will be uploaded on weekends. That is the time that I had decided on after recording it for a little bit. I might record it with something else to be a weekender, and then have Okami and everything else on the weekdays instead of having it now, like it is now. I'd like to know what you guys think of that idea, but I've been wanting something to have as a, sort of like a weekend project instead of, like, having something uploaded every day of the week. To have like a break on weekends where we play something else. It was Fate before now, and unfortunately I had some issues with Fate. It was in a day when I was getting used to my microphone and whatever, and unfortunately my microphone freaked out, made a lot of screeching noises. I managed to record 8 episodes without realizing it, and the bad thing about Fate is a forcible full-screen thing. If you leave the game by means of, whatchamacallit, then, like, Alt-Tab, then you're gonna crash the game. So, I had no choice but to save it and exit in order to actually keep my progress. And I thought I recorded everything just fine, and turns out I did not. And I've been debating on what to do for that for a while now. It still hasn't come to me on what to do. I was thinking maybe, well, I can just, you know, record from where I left off and then just explain that and then move on, or something like that. Also, when doing eyes, just as a little bit of a pointer, make sure your upper lid and stuff like that is good before you continue with the bottom lid, because it's all on the upper lid, really, that's the main thing. I could probably cut this off and it would be like a suppose, die there, but... yeah. So, basically, like I said, this is an update video. And I'm going to be going through Final Fantasy IV/2. I was debating Fate or Golden Sun because Golden Sun I stopped playing because of a frustration point. It eventually got to the point where I was playing the game blind. And there was one thing that really bothered me about the game. I don't know if it's just because I'm playing blind and I don't know if there's any special way to resolve this. But there was a bit of a problem. There was an item that I didn't know you were supposed to get after a certain point in the game, but the game doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do to get it. And I was trying to get 100%, and that item was required for 100%, and yeah. I had no clues there that it was supposed to be something to get. Because of that, I had basically I had to go back to almost the beginning of the game because that area had been opened up to me. And I was at, like, the end of the game. And the issue here is I don't know if there's a way to fast travel, but it sure didn't seem that way to me. Like, I tried everything to try to get there faster, and it was just so slow, and you had to fight so many enemies just to get back to the area. It's one thing that I absolutely love about Final Fantasy, and with the Secret of Mana industry, you always have a flying thing. And, like, Square always tries to make sure that they have some sort of flying thing by the end of the game, otherwise the player will get really upset if you have a giant map and nobody can go anywhere. But yeah. Also, just going off of what I've been drawing here, it's just eyes. When I was, kid, I would just draw eyes nonstop. I was always fascinated by them in like, animes and stuff. Like, there's so many different styles. Like, you got this and... you know... and you've got most animes that came out in, like, the 1990s. Minus, like, that, of course. Yeah. So, basically, another thing of why I've been kind of busy lately is I'm writing a story and / manga that I've been working on for a while. I haven't released anything about it here on this channel, period. You've just seen, like, original characters. But those aren't necessarily... they are the designs for my characters, but they're also, like, vague to me. I don't know if the character's gonna stay like that or not, because I've been constantly designing characters since I was 10. The story I've been making, of course, has been drastically changed since then, but it's been worked on for a while now. It's set in stone what the story's gonna be. So that's been taking some of my time as well. Like, in all of my free time, I've been spent doing that. I don't know how you guys would feel about me sharing it with you guys, because I would be really interested to hear someone else's opinion about my work that I've been doing. And stuff like that. Because the only opinions I've really heard about are from family, but also, like, some of my friends who say that it's, really good. And I do love their opinion, but it would be nice to hear, like, more opinions. Because one thing I've always been worried about is it's not going to be very well received, or if it's not going to get, you know, nobody's going to really like it. Even though it's kind of a stupid thing to think about, and can really hinder doing anything at all. But yeah. Those are some things that are going on with me right at the moment, and also something you may have noticed is I'm the kind of person that when I draw something, I have no clear idea as to what I'm going to be drawing. I just want to draw. So, like, I'll draw, like, a sketch of a face and a person, but, like, it's not going to be very great. And then I'll be like, well, I need to change this to do something else with this. And, like, it'll usually end up being much different. I've been drawing a lot of masked characters lately, and that's not my entire cast of characters. By far. Most of them, you can see their face. So I hope that nobody thinks that I can't... Well, I'm sure you don't think that, but... yeah. Generally, for me, if I see something or if I play something and I really like the, art style, or if I really, like taking a look at my hands or whatever, or a mirror, and I see how, you know, more bones work and stuff like that, that is how I learn how to draw. It's pretty much by example. See, what color we're gonna make you. Got options. Of course, the entire color wheel. Some of these colors are harder than others to do. Specifically ones on the opposite ends, like purple and green. Or this color and this color. See, let's make you... Why not? Let's try pink. I haven't done a pink one in a while. This is kind of how I mainly draw stuff, is just what do I feel like. And then a layer underneath of it. But I really loved drawing as a kid, and I would always, like, if we had anything at all to use, I would always use it. Let's go down a notch. If you want to do eyes like I do, just, get about this tip for this shape and this bigness of eye, about this size. Might be bigger, we don't know yet, until we actually stroke. Alright. And I personally like to make a divot then, so I have some room. And for this eye style, we're gonna avoid coloring that darkness in at the top. We're just going to color a little bit of darkness, and that's going to be it. We're also going to want to do this. Just like a little slice, so to speak. One thing I really like about Clip Studio Paint is it will save your recovery information. I've had a lot of drawings not die because of that. Alright, now we're gonna get a little bit bigger. About 34p. Whatever that means. We're gonna go down the sides. Not too much, though. Kinda just want it to be an accent. You don't want it to overflow. Because one thing is, I believe the old saying is, white makes things look bigger and dark things make things look smaller. So just keep that in mind. Alright, we're gonna curve in the eye. We're also gonna darken that up a little bit in this little curvature. Alright, and now we're gonna take out the good old soften tool. I use this a lot in that one video with the two people, the girl and the guy. And we're just gonna soften the other edges of the eye. That's just gonna give us like a little extenuation, so to speak. Alright, now we're gonna go to another color, which would be the lighter pink. We're gonna hit add glow, and we're gonna shrink the brush down back to 9. Because we don't want that going too far. We're gonna lighten a little bit. Around the pupil. Up here. And turn the opacity down until it's what we like. Then we're gonna make a new layer and do with this motion. This would be a good time to find the layer that you originally made, and then cut that part out. Nobody wants to see that. And then, because likely a highlight always goes over a darkness. It's never the other way around. Okay, which one are we? Were that? Okay. Now we're going to want to duplicate that layer, add glow, Gaussian blur it just a little bit, make the previous layer that you duplicated a little bit less in light, so you get more of a flowy effect. I'm gonna zoom out. Looks pretty good how it is, but we also have to add some highlights. And that really just depends on what you want to do for the lights. I personally get annoyed when the highlight is the main thing in an eyeball. So we're just gonna, like, do it like this. You with me so far? Also remember, sometimes you have to make sure that enough is enough. I'm also gonna Gaussian blur it a little bit to make it look a little bit more flowy and glowy. And you could stop here and have like a good looking eye. Which I might do, because it kind of looks like if I do too much, it'll look bad. Plus, this isn't an eye style that would look good with too many effects. That's another thing. Effects are good, but sometimes simplicity is better. The last thing you need to do is pull your hair out over a bunch of effects that you didn't realize would take a while to... It's kind of like doing a voice. If you do the voice for a role or whatever, and you try to make it as good as possible, but then you can't keep that up, and you can ruin your voice that way, then that's not good. We're gonna make these not as dark, because it's kind of dark. We're gonna multiply this a little bit by just simply using that same dark color, since we already worked with the opacity on that, and then we're just gonna take the lightest of the whites, and then we're gonna go over that. Because there is a little bit of a light here. And then we're gonna do that, and let's look at what we've done. That looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna do the skin around it, but that is one eye done. Also, if you wanted to get really fancy, you could probably take the dark color that you had and then do like this. then multiply, so it's in the color scheme of that thing, and then take the light, and then go over that. And then also make that less opacity. Looks good. Now we're gonna move on to number 2. Which is... see, it's, I did 2 on that one. So I guess I can pick. Here's another type of eye style you can do as well. For this one, we're going to be using brown. But yeah, I've been doing eye stuff all my life. More often than I've lived as a kid. Of just drawing the eyes. Getting really good at that. I like starting with a darker inside to an eye because you never know what the lighting is going to be for like the inner eyeball. So going darker can be better because you can only go so far in lightness. So to add more detail, and this would also be the same. Because the thing about it is, in actual marker drawing, you would have to make sure that the lights were there first, in that case. But since we're doing this in a, you know, editing program, we don't have to worry about that as much. For this one, we're going to go do something different. We're going to go all dark on the top, leaving just this little smidgen of area behind. And let's multiply that. And we're going to add sort of a gradient-esque look to that, but we're also going to take the opacity down because that's way too dark. Then we're going to use the soft tool, multiply, give it a softer look. You can also do this with realistic eyes. Also, I don't know what I just did, but apparently it was bad. What the poo just happened? When all else fails, Control Z. Alright. Now we're gonna take that, and we're gonna make a new layer, multiply. I said multiply. Okay. We're just gonna, like, curve this in a little bit. Kind of like the last one. We're also going to add a lot of dots. We're going to go to brown, and we're going to pick a lighter brown. We're going to start adding glows. Typically follow wherever the shadows are. You also want to make sure that you have an idea of where your highest light is going to be. Which would be right here. Like the weaker light could be over there. This one a little less visible. And then you could add, like, that sort of shtick, and then you zoom out, of course, to see how it looks. And I don't think we're going to duplicate that one. Below it, like this one. Alrighty. Time for the inner eye. Which we're just going to use some darkness there. Just to And since the lightest light is here, that means that the casting shadow will be this way. And multiply. Also, a little bit of advice for those who are new to drawing. If you are in a program and you see clipping masks, which is what I'm using now, so that you can just color onto what you've already colored instead of do a bunch of fancy schmancy crap. Basically, when you're making a clipping mask, make sure that you have a normal layer with nothing on it above it, and then whenever you make a new layer, it will always make it into a clipping mask instead of making a new layer, and then you have to add that to the clipping mask, and man, that method just really sucks. It wastes a lot of time that way. Alright. That eye's done. Let's move on to the next one. Now for this one, I'm thinking about using a watercolor method. Watercolor is really nice. Can add a lot of effects, especially if you use some really pretty ones for color. If you have a really good watercoloring setup, man, it's gonna be awesome looking. Color that in, and then we get the eye, which is gonna be lighter in color. Also, if you wanted to do the inner eye part and know where you're drawing, you can always turn the background layer off. And that gives you a more realistic idea of what the color is going to look like on something else other than just a white background. Something that I really like about just turning the thing off. Alrighty. This one, we're gonna do, like I said, watercolor. Where is it? There we go. No, that's not it. Seem to have misplaced my watercolor. There we go. So there are quite a few things here that we can use. We've got a watery brush. One thing you always do want to make sure of, though, is that your eye is not too dark and it's not too saturated sometimes. I think this was actually not supposed to be a color brush. Okay. Trying to find the one I usually use. Seems to be bleeding a lot. Also, that is also an accident, but that is also an eye style. If you put like a light right there, you get an eye style. As you can see. It actually reminds me of an eye style that I had seen once. But on second thought, I don't remember which brush I even really used. Oh. It keeps acting weird for some reason. Alright. So I think for this one, instead of using the watercolor, we're going to use the blend tool. Eventually what the blend tool can do is it will blend the color out, washing it down, or blending it between two colors. So we're going to take this darker blue. And we're going to bleed it out. And then we're going to add lighter color. Then we're going to blend that back out. And we're going to actually go back up to that layer with the eyes. We're going to remove this thing. That won't actually work for the eye style we're doing today. On this eye. Alright. Okay, and we're just gonna keep blending this out. Oops, I accidentally used the blender tool. I was confused for a minute there why that didn't work. Alright, now we're going to multiply that, and we're going to bleed that back out underneath of the normal. And we're going to turn the bleed down a little bit, or the blending down a little bit. And we're going to bleed as much color as we possibly can with making that as clean of an edge as possible. Same here. And now we're going to want to multiply. Oops. Make sure that you don't cut into the stuff you've already made. We're going to multiply. And we're going to sort of blend it all in. We're also going to do this for the sides of the eye as well, so we get that nice inner sort of circular feeling. Because otherwise, 2D will always look flat, so you don't want to make it look flat. But also, you don't want to make it look too dark, so we're gonna slowly do this. And we're going to, we're going to, do that again, except this time we're not going to keep the lines. We're not going to blend them out. And now we're going to go back to that lightness again. And we're going to go back to the blender. Do that, and then we're gonna add some more glowies. And we're gonna add some glows in the background of the eye. Then we're going to go over it once with the blender, really fast. And now we're going to do some more of that. We're gonna go glow. Do this. And then blender. And we're sort of gonna want to make a spear head. We're also gonna want to add a glow. And make this rim lighter. We're also going to want to add a little bit of light here. Now we're going to add a laying light. Add glow. Add glow again. Add glow. Soften that up. Zoom out. And underneath of all of that light, we're going to go back to the multiply layer that we have. We're gonna go multiply, and then we're gonna smack that down there. And then we're going to make that go down in opacity. And now we're also going to go back up to the glow layer. And do this. And then blend that back down. Alright. One thing you can also do is if you don't think it's saturated enough, you can go to the most saturated part of the color wheel, paint bucket, overlay, and change the opacity till you get what you feel is right. Then you can also see what it's like before and after. Sometimes a little saturation can make something pop. And now we're going to take the... That is weird. Where is the eye layer? Oh, there it is. Alright, so we're gonna do the eye stuff the same way. We're gonna take shadow. And then we're gonna smooth it out around the sides. And since the major light's coming from there, it's gonna be a little bit shadowy over here. Then we're just gonna blend it out till it's kind of faded. This is also what I mean by having to make sure there's a clipping mask behind your clipping mask. Otherwise, whenever you make a new layer, it's going to go everywhere instead of where you need it to go. And now we're going to use some lights. Also, I want to give a little bit of advice. I've seen a lot of people do both realistic and anime art styles before, but there's one thing I've noticed. If you do both, you might fail at both and not to be good at either. Because I've noticed that some people, like I can do a realistic eye, but since I don't want that for my manga, then I'm not gonna keep practicing it or draw characters in it because it's not like something I would really think would do well for my kind of story, so appearance-wise. And I've found a lot of people that they do art styles very well and drawing really well, but when it comes to actually doing it, it's just something that it's kind of funny to me to see. And also, here's another thing. Make sure that when you do an art style that you're not copying anyone. It's fine to copy someone in the beginning, but when you get through the motions, I have a little bit of a piece of advice for those that I've seen, that I've actually picked up on from people who have made manga for a long time or have been really successful at it. It doesn't matter, like, what something looks like. It doesn't have to be accurate at all to anything, so long as it's what you want the world to be. And so long as it's what you want your world to be, then the logic within that world is fit with the logic of the world that you created. So, say you can't draw buildings very well. Well, then just draw something you think is like a building that you would want in your story that would fit to your style. Or if you can't draw trees very well, then draw trees in the way that you think the trees in your universe should look. And eventually, with that mentality, you'll get a lot better. Because it's a matter of, like, accepting art styles. Because one of the big things is finding your art style. And while I have one, I also don't. Like, I like trying a lot of new things out. Like, new ways that I might think about for making an eye or whatever. And I like trying out the new eye styles that I might think about doing. So some of my art might look different than others. It's because that's the style I'm trying out, of the shading and the lighting and whatever. Because I want to see which one I want to fully use in action in my own story. But yeah, that being said, so we got 3 of the 5 eyes done. For green, gotta think about that one. That's another thing. I like to think about all of my art styles that I'm going to be using. Or not art styles I'm going to be using. The art exactly that I would, like colors, shading, stuff like that. What the thing's going to look like in the end. Because that part is really important. Which, by the way, white light is good for some things, but that's not always going to be the light, so there might be yellow light. It's also good to pair lights with the color of the eye that you picked. So, for example, if you have green, then yellow might look nice on it. Or, like, gold light. That sort of shtick. But that being said, we've gotten really far in this video, and for an update video, and plus a drawing video. So, I think 44 minutes is a lot of time to just be sitting here talking and drawing, but, I hope you guys like the eyes. And like I said, I'm gonna finish up here with an ending speech on the updates. The updates are 1. In May, you'll be seeing Final Fantasy 2/4 done. You will be seeing probably Golden Sun done. I will probably be also working on Spyro. It depends. I've been having some issues with that one, but for some reason OBS just does not want to record it. And yeah. So for May you'll be seeing that. You'll also there's also some number 2, which you need to know. I'm just gonna cut myself off there so I don't go on a tangent. But number 2 is going to be the fact that hurricane season is coming up for my area that I live. And I've been trying to record as much as I possibly can and edit as fast as I possibly can to try to get stuff scheduled for that time period. Because we always get a hurricane that will knock the power out for a long time. The longest it's ever been out was last year for a month, almost. And that's not good. That would be a month without videos to see. And, by the way, I've never had issues from the hurricane. My family's always been pretty good. We live in an area with a lot of trees, so we don't usually get any tornadoes or any bad hurricane damage. It's mainly just water. For me, it's actually a nice time. Like, you're forced away from other things, and you have to do things, and without power or anything like that, which is strangely nice to me. I don't know. I've told this to a lot of people, and they always thought I was crazy, but the other thing is, like, I really enjoy nature at that time because of frogs, crickets, and all that stuff. Sounding really nice then. Enjoying a lot of rain. But that being said, hurricane season is coming up, which means I'm probably gonna not be here during then. But hopefully I'll have videos up for that time. Which, I think if anything, I need to have videos up then. In case of hurricane, pull this lever, short of shtick. And the third thing of the update is Bahamut Lagoon and probably another game. I'm not too sure about this one. It's a game I really love, and it's like my second favorite game as a child, but I don't know. Or not as a child, but like a teen, I guess you could say. But it's like my second favorite game of like that childhood, if you could call it that. So like, I would love to play it alongside Bahamut Lagoon because they're kind of pretty much the same thing. They're both fan translations. My issue at the moment for a lot of the games I have is I have a lot of RPGs that I'm doing right now, and RPGs take a lot of time. Thankfully, Metroid is very short, so I can just get that short and sweet done quite fast. But yeah. So that's the stuff that's going on. It is those games, and then, you know, of course, I'll be finishing the other games that I said are off, but the Bahamut Lagoon will be on Sundays and Saturdays, I believe. And then Okami and Metroid Fusion until its completion, which I'm not sure if you've gotten the previous Bahamut Lagoon episode or if I said it, but Metroid Fusion's done as of right now, as of what I'm saying. Metroid Fusion is completely done. I beat it. Unfortunately, I did a stupid in it, which we'll be seeing soon. But I remedy it later down the line. So, that being said, let's see what other updates I have. Well, currently, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I was feeling under the weather. It's another thing that stopped me from uploading. But, you know, that's life. Crap happens. Just gotta roll with punches and, you know, do the best you can. Not complaining, just stating. Because honestly, there's probably someone out there who's got worse. So, like, that's the thing to take away from it is always be positive, do with what you got, and at the end of the day, just be thankful that, you know, you got where you are now, even if it doesn't seem like much. Because while there are people who are certainly better and have, you know, more stuff, it seems, never forget what you have and the fact that, you know, despite what you have, and you always are gonna think, well, this person has, you know, more stuff than I do, or whatever, or feel bad about that. Just keep in mind, there's always gonna be someone worse than you. Worse off. Just as there's someone who's better off, there's always gonna be someone who's worse off. Just a little bit of a positive message, I guess. And a positive... message. Point. Makers of sex, I know. But, yeah. That's just the thing. For the updates. So... yeah. I'm gonna be doing the best I can for, recording times. Okami is definitely going good. I've already gotten, like, halfway through the game. When I've had time. And... I haven't recorded Bahamut Lagoon as much as I like, because I've been busy with the main series and all that. But just be known that I am looking to finish it. I will finish every game, except I don't know if I'm going to be finishing Arcana. You guys can check out Arcana if you want to have one episode or two of that on my channel. Arcana is a game that you either love it or hate it, and will have times where you like it a lot, you love it a lot, but at the same time you'll be like, why am I even playing this game? Like, it's a game I really love, but it's the same game that's like, it can be really frustrating and kind of weird. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler Yu-Gi-Oh! Slash... I don't know what you'd even call it. Those games. Those kinds of games where you, move around in a dungeon, but you only have, like, first-person camera back in the day. I don't remember what they're called, but... as a bit of a little recap of what we've drawn. Just like this. And this. And this one. Are the ones we finished in the video today. And, you know, like I said, that's the updates going on, and I'm going to be trying to upload as much as I can, and whatever, and get stuff scheduled as much as I can. I'm going to be editing a lot of videos and recording a lot of videos today, which today, if you're wondering, by the time I'm recording this, because I do like to pre-record some stuff, today is not February, what am I talking about? It's Saturday, April 29th. At 10:49 a.m. If you want to know when I exactly record, that's the time. I usually like recording from usually like recording from 10 in the morning to 3 to 4 p.m. Occasionally I will change that and record from like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That night. That's my recording schedule. And how I record, I usually record in like 5 to 8 hours at a time every day, so that I can get some of these episodes rolling out, like I said. And also, just so you know something about me, which I'm sure you guys have seen already, it's not that I don't like necessarily finishing projects, because I have a lot of projects that I noticed that I have not beaten, and they're starting to rack up. What I like is, for me personally, to keep myself sane when I play a game for a very long period of time. I like playing other games too, and that's something that I figured would be very good for my channel is I like the idea of recording multiple projects at once so that I can take a break off of one and do another. So I can constantly record without having to feel burnt out. Because I feel like burning out when you're recording games all stems from the fact that you're tired of playing the same exact game for hours. Which I think can be easily remedied by why not just play something else that you really love and record that too. And then when you don't really want to play that game anymore, you can go back to the one you were playing and then record that a bunch. And, you know, that's really worked out for me. It was a different story when I recorded Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana, which are on the channel. Those were my first 2 Let's Plays, by the way. First 2 I ever done. And unfortunately, Chrono Trigger has a lot of problems. My first episode, unfortunately, I recorded wrong with OBS. And I put a lot of effort into that video with my voice and actually had a hoarse voice for a week. And I wasn't able to record anything after what I had recorded then. And so I had a hoarse voice, and then, like, I've come to find out the recorded weird for the first episode. So I junked the rest of the recordings that I had recorded and just recorded a new set after the first episode. Like, I wanted to keep the first episode because, well, you know, it was a simple mistake, but the rest from then on were recorded normally. And then Secret of Mana came along after that. I don't remember if I recorded both at the same time. I don't think I did. It's been a while. It's been a year since then. But yeah, if you want to check that out, you can check out the first episode I ever uploaded. And see the glory that is not only my inability to use the microphone, but also the inability to properly record with the OBS, which was kind of sad, really. And also, I wasn't as nearly as loud as I am now. Like I said, I'm a recovering extrovert. If you want to call it that. Like, I went from extroverted to introverted, back to extroverted again, so it's kind of been a weird transition for me. So generally, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I probably could have been drawing this entire time, but I wanted to get these updates out and tell you guys what's been going on, what will happen for the, hurricane season, and all that jazz. Like I said, this is what's going to be happening and all that jazz. And I will be on top of things to make sure that episodes are coming out frequently and all that jazz. I'm going to be scheduling a bunch, and I'm also going to be recording Bahamut Lagoon today, and I'm going to be scheduling it for today because weekends. I'll let you guys will, of course, know by 3 o'clock if you guys watch this video when I upload it, which should be in a few minutes after I'm done recording it here, whether or not I decided to actually put that game up with Bahamut Lagoon or not. You guys will be finding that out in a minute. And like I said, don't feel bad if Okami and Metroid Fusion will not be coming out on weekends anymore, because they will have the rest of the week. And this will help me save a lot of recording time, because that will be 2 days I won't have to have an upload for those 2 games, so it will save me some time in the long run, I hope. And then I can finish up some of the other games that I have going while that's being done for recording schedule. Also, let me know which eye you like the best. If you like, say, this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, I guess. Even if I didn't color it all. But thank you all for sticking with me to the end here. We'll try to have more videos like this. I kind of want to have a live one. I want to know what you guys think of that. If I have a live one, will you guys come and, like, watch it? Or something, or just, like, come in to chat? But that being said, yep. And also, I would really like to know what you guys' opinion is on live. I've been thinking about it for a little bit, having like a live video for like 30 minutes or an hour, like depending, instead of the regular format where it's me pre-recording stuff and uploading it. If you guys would like to see me do stuff live, I don't know if my computer can handle it, but I guess we'll find out if you guys want to see me do something live. It'd be pretty fun to chat with you guys while I play something or do something or anything like that. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for sticking around to watch the end of this, where I blabber on. And in the next time you see me, it will be Bahamut Lagoon and maybe the other game that I wanted to play on weekends with Bahamut Lagoon. It's also a fan translation. Which I've, to be honest, already recorded a lot of it. And I was debating it, whether or not I actually wanted to upload it, despite the fact that I've already recorded that much of it at this point in time. Also, just noting one little small extra detail. Yes, I have finished the Avion series as a whole, other than the last one, because that's a travesty. And ruins their good name. Like, it really is lazy. But that being said, I have played all of the rest of them, including Dark Soul Prophecy. Gates of Night will be also showing up in the midst here, like little specklings. Gates of Night will be showing up. Because I'm currently in the middle of editing all of that fully, as well as the rest of the series that I've done. I probably have about, if I had to say, over 60 or 70 episodes recorded of all of Avion. Like I said before, when I finished Avion 2 and Gates of Night, or not Gates of Night, Lord of Twilight, as you might have known, I don't want to just upload a bunch of Avion at once, because I don't like that variety choice. Like, I wouldn't want to record a huge slew of sequels to a game and then upload only that game. Like, I don't want to just become a that game channel. Like, I want to play a lot of things at once, so that if someone doesn't like game A, B, or C, they might like D, E, or F. Because there's a lot of games that I feel like people would want to see a person play, but they never end up actually going to that because they're so busy playing just one game or 2 games, or they only play a specific game type, or they only play games that are popular. That sort of shtick, which I think is kind of stupid. Like, if you only play things that are popular or mainstream all the time, then the things that could have been awesome and could have been mainstream or could have been really popular get shoved to the wayside and then become obscure or abandoned, which is a really terrible and sad thought. That happens a lot with RPG Maker games, which is another reason why I play so many on this channel. They really need some love and they really need some care, because those games are really good. Now, not to say that RPG Maker games don't have their bad spots too of games. That's just the nature of making anything on Earth. There's always going to be that one game or whatever that not everyone's going to like, or doesn't seem to be as quality as the rest of them, or as good of quality. But that being said, developers still need love and care, because some games could be good if they would have had the time, money, or effort. You know, that being said, all that though, like I said, you all will see me later on today, and hopefully, whichever one I go for, be it uploading Bahamut Lagoon and that other game at the same time, which being very obscure on what that other game is, but I really want to upload it though. I really do. It would. That game impacted me so much on what I love video games now. Like, really cemented it. Not just Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana and all them, but this one too. Really cemented me in loving RPGs. Because it was like a breaking the limits on certain things you could actually accomplish with the Super Nintendo. But that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. And hopefully, you all stuck around for this. This is so freaking long. I don't... Man, I'm sorry. This is such a long video. I think this is going on an hour. Yep, an hour and 5 minutes. Well, I think it's time to end this video off. And also let me know if you like videos where I'm just drawing and recording that instead of just time lapses. Because honestly, I kind of prefer it to talk to you guys and draw at the same time. The next video I might do of this is finishing off the eyes and then working on like something like hands or ears. Which I used to really suck at hands, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw whether I suck or not. And I started to get really better at it after that. Like, my hands used to look like... Let me just show you this real quick. My hands used to look like chicken. Like, man, just add some legs there and like a head. And you got a turkey. Like, my hands were not good. As you can see. Like, once you know bone structure and all that, it's a lot better. And also, I don't like the whole pretentious... You do, like, this, and then you do this for this. Like, no. This never worked for me. I don't know if it worked for you, but it does not work for me. It's just... It's too many lines to get rid of. Like, and I can't even really see the original underneath that, so that's, like, doesn't work for me. It probably doesn't work for a lot of you either. That being said, and I really need to end this episode off, because this is an hour and 5 minutes, and this is gonna suck to upload. Because it's gonna take forever. But that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the episode and drawing eyes with me. I probably might have a step-by-step thing of, like, drawing with you guys, if you guys could get, like, a sheet of paper and a pencil or a pen or whatever, doesn't matter. And I'll teach you how to draw. It's really, in my opinion, quite easy to do, but there's a lot of people who don't get into the nitty-gritty of why you need to draw, like, there's a lot of people who don't do tutorials right, in my opinion. They just do, like, a sheep. You know, draw, like, a tiny cloud, and then legs, and then, like, eyeballs, and, like, little sheep ears. And a head. Like a small little circle for a head. And then it'll cut to like a beautiful drawing of sheep in an open field. In the next step. Like, that's not how things need to be done. And that never worked for me. I had to learn how to draw eyes and do eye styles by my own sweat, blood, and tears. That's just how I had to do it. So hopefully I can make that easy for some of you. By just going like really baby steps with it. With that being said, let me know what do y'all think. I'd really appreciate it. Like, I really love talking to you guys because it's nice to get other people's opinions and have a discussion without feeling like someone's gonna break a gasket, you know. I've always loved having just a really deep conversation with people about what they like or what they don't like. Like, their own valid opinions on why they think something's a certain way. Because it's always really nice to see where people come from, what they think, how they got there. Like, it's really nice and it's really important to me to hear that. Like, it's something that I've always really treasured to hear about. That being said, finally gonna end this off. You will see me today with Bahamut Lagoon. And maybe the Nether game that I was thinking about. And all of the uploads that are going to be after that will be the, Okami and Metroid Fusion will start again on Monday. And then continue throughout the week. That should give me enough time to finish up editing all the ones I've ever recorded. And get Metroid Fusion scheduled for when it's going to end. If I had to say when it's going to end, from the episodes I've recorded, probably will end in about a week, give or take 3 days, so maybe 10 days? I don't know. Somewhere around then. But, all that being said, that's how things are going to be scheduled from now on. I have no clue when Okami is going to be finished, but Metroid Fusion is done. It will be here in about 10 days, and Final Fantasy IV/2 will be here in May, and probably Golden Sun, and I'll probably start working on Fate occasionally. With that being said, see you guys in a bit for the next episode of Bahamut Lagoon, and the next episode of either a new series or a game clearing game. See you guys then.